In my speaking notes, it says one of the questions I was asked to consider here is what does it look like when an NDP premier builds the future with union labor? I got a simple answer. It means we don't legislate people back to work. That's what you get with an NDP government.
That applause goes on for a while, and it's well-deserved. Here, Manitoban Premier Rob Kinew acknowledges what union workers fear. Governments in Canada, both provincially and federally, have taken a hostile approach to some of their most essential workers, often claiming that they're so essential that society would be irreparably harmed by their work stoppage. But God forbid they be able to make more money this year than last year when adjusted for inflation. Growing up, I was always told that the way to get ahead in life was to work hard, get a good education, keep your head down, and don't complain. Be the best that you can be at work and be honest. And all of that was terrible advice. I remember when I was working at one company, there was this one guy who started smoking because he noticed that all of the people who got promoted smoked with the supervisors. And sure enough, I was smarter, better liked, and not that he was a bad guy, but I was better at teaching people how to do their jobs. Did I get promoted? No. I got clinical depression. Other parties in Canada, conservative, liberal, doesn't matter. They see workers as dust. They talk about kitchen table issues, but they will never humble themselves to contemplate what truly goes on at our kitchen tables, assuming that we live in a home large enough to be practically like to have a kitchen table. I personally eat at my desk. I use the space that would normally be for a table for a deep freeze so that I can buy frozen food when it's on sale, and I have a portable dishwasher that sits on top of a dead larger portable dishwasher. Yeah. When I started working, I assumed that being kind and selfless and smart, working hard, and, caring, I assumed that that is what I needed to do to be okay in life. I didn't realize that if I wanted to succeed in the business world, I would need to get really good at lying and at taking more than I needed from other people, even if they didn't have enough. I probably should have paid more attention in college when we watched the documentary, The Corporation. It talks about how our legal system basically sets the expectation that corporations behave like sociopaths. But I have never had that drive to exploit people. I want to work with other people for a common goal. I want to work with people who can't do the kind of work that I can, and I want to help them with that. I want all of us to succeed, and so I vote for people who stand with unions, because at the end of the day, unions are the employees taking what few legal protections we have and banding together and refusing to let the liars and cheats take advantage of them more than they already do. I want to be able to vote for politicians who stand up for people who aren't practiced at being evil. When Danielle Sith, Drug Lord Ford, and Carney pick fights with unions, it is degrading, it is un-Canadian, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves when they do it.